All right, pop it on here real quick to put a reminder out to everyone who's starting to garden in Florida, whether you're somebody who's lived here for a while and you're just now deciding to put food in the ground because you don't know about your food security, or whether you're new to Florida, moved here because you have health problems or you want to retire in a sunshine state, and you're deciding to grow your own food. This is the time when we start planting the fall gardens. Actually, planting should have started as soon as the heat set in. But make sure that you got your seeds, because some of the places that I've been recently, like big box stores and like that, they're putting their seed packets out. And of course now here in Florida, they're starting to have their seed packets around all year long, because we can plant something pretty much all year round, except for the very hottest part of the year and the very coldest part of the year, depending on what you plant. The very hottest part of the year is usually moving into June, July, and here in August. Yeah. So, yeah, pardon my appearance. I have had windburn on my lips and chin and everything from being out there, setting up where I'm going to be having more new gardens for doing some more experiments. So one of the places, actually there are two that are good to get seeds for getting started after you've taken some of your soil and got it tested at the county extension office. So those are usually located around the fairgrounds or the government buildings, a county seat. Some have satellite little offices, different places. So you take a gallon-sized baggie, go out about 3-4 places where you're going to be putting in your garden, and you dig down about, rule of thumb is about anywhere between 4 to 6 inches down. Take some of that dirt, put it in, and we usually have you put about that much dirt in the baggie, and then you take it to the county extension office, and those volunteers that work there are master gardeners or in the process of becoming master gardeners, and they'll test the soil, and you have the option of either getting the advice about fertilizer, as in you can go synthetic or you can go organic. So now if you've got health problems, I highly recommend going the organic route. Now I personally organic's always been, so that's the way I was raised. We just did, mainly because we were poor, so there wasn't a lot of money to be doing a lot of going out and getting big bags of stuff. So it was horse poop, cow poop, chicken poop, that kind of thing. Anyway, so you start getting the seeds of things that you want to grow, that you know that you like. Now, here's the thing. There are some channels on YouTube that do have seed stores connected to them that are, they curate seeds that they have worked with. They're garden designers or experimental gardens. So they know what works in Florida, at least in their area, and if they have done garden designing in various locations, then they've also got more experience with the variety of microclimates that these seeds will grow in. So one of those is the Urban Harvest, and I'm not good at putting links in, but I will try. I'll at least put the web address to and then you just highlight it, no, copy it, and put that in your browser, and you can go to her page, and she has an informative YouTube channel that is good, especially if you are in the Tampa Bay area, a little more south. Anyway, and then the other one is Florida Gardening, sorry, and that is the seeds. Curated seeds come in these little pouches, and you can get whole selections of seeds. Now this one here is the ones for fall garden, and so it's got this little pouch here. Inside this are the things to mark where your rows are, unless you garden like I do and you just kind of landrace stuff. So some things can be here and some things can be there, you know, same plants planted different places because plants work well together. Anyway, that one's for free. Now here's a tomato, Florida Dade. And the nice thing I like about this guy's thing is it says when to plant, and it's North Florida. You got your dates, so you can do either the spring garden, which would be February through March, or you can do the second garden, which is July through August, and or here's for Central Florida, which is January through March or August through September. And then if you're in South Florida, you put it in August through February. That put in these Florida Dade tomatoes. And here's his website. It's www.floridagardening.com. I'll also put that below. But on each of these, now I would say pay attention. Deep South Homestead has a way that they've put their carrots, growing carrots, and on their Etsy website they have a don't remember if it's downloadable. I think it is, but there's a whole growing manual for carrots. They also have one for sweet potatoes, but the soft soil that is not compacted, like it could be if you use a lot of like mushroom compost and a lot of black cow, you have to kind of put stuff in it to aerate it, whether it's perlite, whether it's topsoil, what it is. You have to make it, because carrots will grow better to put, you know, they're a root vegetable, and they'll get to extend their roots fully and not have splits and all that kind of stuff when you have a softer soil, looser, fluffier, however you want to describe it. Anyway, so Deep South Homestead has a good video on that. If try to find it. Again, I'm new to this video stuff, so I'm not real good at setting up the link stuff, and you know what? I haven't taken the time to go and watch the YouTube tutorials. I need to do that. Okay, so bush beans provider. And if you don't like the look of my fingers, too bad. I've been working with frozen blueberries, taking them out to my chickens and helping them with the heat that way, as well as frozen cucumbers. These are ways to help the chickens stay hydrated during the heat. Okay, there's broccoli. Okay, so you got Brussels sprouts. I did not know I could grow Brussels sprouts here, because every time I have tried with the stuff that I bought elsewhere, I, you know, like from the stores, no luck. Red acre cabbage. Okay, So it's a, I'm just gonna, yeah, okay. You can see all this on the website. It'll take too long to sit here, and I don't have this much time. So, yeah, floridagardening.com and urbanharvest.com. And then the other thing that I highly recommend is New to Gardening in Florida. Totally Crazy Easy Florida Gardening from David the Good. And this one has kind of become like my Bible. Create Your Own Florida Food Forest, David the Good. This is awesome. It's got all this information for, you know, all the different, it's South Florida, Central Florida, North Florida, where these things grow. Great artwork. The variety of artists, fans of his that have done their artwork for these books is just awesome. So yeah, this is a good resource, because a food forest means that you got the tall trees that are helping with the understory, like fruit trees and things like that, and they're feeding each other and shading each other. And then down below you can do your vegetables, you can do perennials of things that are edible, and you can put your sweet potatoes or whatever in for ground cover, and your onions and your carrots and all these different things, and the clovers and all that work together. And it's really a lot of fun, because it's almost like a treasure hunt when you go out there, because I don't always mark down where I put things. And so this is what I'm working on building. And anyway, so another resource that I found out one year, kind of, I don't know if it was recommended on a channel I was watching or if I just happened on it by accident when I was looking around at gardening books. But the Florida Gardening Planner from the Southern Garden. This is awesome, because you got spaces in here to write down your gardening chores and stuff. Now, you've also got where you're drawing things out space. And you got, like, I keep record of some of the stuff I want to put in. I also keep record of temperatures in here, like there was 40 degrees there in March. Okay, and then up in here in this section you got what grows, where you start it indoors or you direct sow it outdoors. There's a section for each of that, and of course I'm Central Florida. And now here's the thing, they're talking zones in here. This is zone 8, zone 9, zone 10. Okay, now most of us have, or most, I should say most of y'all have a zip code that coincides with where you live. You know, you live in that town or right close to it. So you type that into the USDA, which is United States Department of Agriculture, their website. You can see the whole map of the United States and where all these zones are. So you know what to plant, because some plants grow better in the heat, some plants grow better in the cold. Okay, so then there's some of us that live out in the country, but we have the zip code for a city that may be 20 minutes away. Okay, so that means we're in unique microclimates. So what I did is go to not just the USDA, but I also went to the NOAA site, NOAA, National Oceanic Atmospheric something or other. I don't remember, but it's, NOAA is the place where you go if you go to weather.com and see what hurricanes are happening, severe storms and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, So they have a map of the United States as well. So for me, I chose a landmark that's really close to my house that would be showing up on a map, which would be like Ocala National Forest, or one of the lakes that's just like within 5 miles of my house. So anyhow, in doing that and then, zooming in on the map, I was able to understand fully that I'm in a unique spot where zone 8B dips down and 9A comes up, and they kind of merge right here where I am. So that is the reason why, being at the top of a ridge and a wind tunnel situation, we get the weather in the teens and the 20s. And in March, in the 40s during the daytime. And shoot, I didn't write down the temperature this morning, or did I? I better check on that. Anyway, so I have been tracking all that kind of stuff in this book, and I'm kind of going between zone 8 and zone 9 for planting, and so far it's working out well. The other neat thing about this book is you've got a harvest tracker. You can put down the pounds on which day, you harvested them. And let me see if there's anything else that's unique about this book. Because, like I said, from the first time I discovered it, I was real curious, so I bought one. And so, yeah, it's like, here's a place to scribble design plans. Rough. And back in here, we got a list for your edible perennial log, and the annual log, and of course, here's the interesting thing. Now, up north, you're all going to be so cold, you can't do a whole lot in December. Well, down here, we can be planting stuff, especially if you're down here in zone 10. And I've got this circled because this is the pollinator attractors that are down here. Now, up here where I'm at, between here and here, I got to figure out, okay, what is okay to be doing. Now, you'll see, these are start indoors here. But, yeah, this can be gotten off of Amazon. So, it is worth, because it's just, you put your information here, and you got your year here, you got all these resources in here. You can even keep track of, like, here's key types of plants to work for Florida, best for Florida. All these different, and here's a suppliers list. So you have a place where you can write down phone numbers, website addresses, the products that you get from them, to keep track of things that you really like to use. And then each year you put it back up on the shelf, and you can just get the new one, which usually, if I remember right, let me look down here, they pop these out in early December. Great Christmas present. So anyhow, trying to think if there's anything else. I was going to make this short. It's almost 20 minutes long. Oh my lordy, lordy, lordy. Well, it's time for me to get out there and clean the chicken house anyway. It sounded like a couple of the girls were getting done out there and getting off the nest, and some of them have been a little picky lately. If I go in there and I clean while they're on their nest, then they're going to take off and they're going to lay their eggs out in the garden. underneath the plants that I'm trying to clean out, which makes it a little bit, I don't want them laying eggs out there, you know. Snakes will get them before I get to them. Anyway, so I will put all the different things, the websites, and the names of the YouTube channels underneath in the description box, and start your planning now, because September is when the fall gardens start happening, usually based on weather, based on hurricanes. We start in with doing the fall garden usually end of August, 1st September, depends on the weather. Okay, now I'm heading on out. Y'all have a good day, rest of your week, upcoming weekend. I hope it's wonderful for you. And y'all get outside for a minute or two and wiggle your toes in the dirt and enjoy life. Later.